Hello, everyone. Hello, Eric.
Right.
As you can see, tonight, at the minute, there's just me and Eric because it's a bit of a glitch that I had today with my phone and sending messages out, and I didn't know about it until last thing tonight, this evening. So tonight it will be just me, Eric, and Dan chit chatting like we normally do. But you'll notice that Dan's not here. He's going to be on a bit later because he's having to pick his son up. So he's doing something useful for a change, I should imagine.
Hi, William.
Or let me move my phone. I just didn't want that feedback to affect what we're talking about. We were having a good old chat just now about, before we went live, about Eric seeing an apparition of a ghostly arm.
Hmm.
Should we talk about that?
Yeah. Well, I was young. I can't remember if I was 7 or 8. I know I was young enough to go out of my bedroom, and my grandma's was right across the hall, kind of like a kitty corner type of thing. And I used to go in there and lay down with her. Don't know why. Probably because I was afraid to go lay down with my parents way down the hall. And that day. And I was just there one night, and I saw this arm come up from the floor, and I looked down to see who it was or what it was, and nothing was there. So I looked under
Yeah,
the bed, I looked under, and like, okay, and just went back to sleep.
yeah. That's really interesting because um, this is my experiences. Sometimes when spirit want to let you know that they're there, they don't necessarily fully reveal themselves because they don't want to frighten you. So
Mhm.
it's like a bit of an arm or a pair of boots or a leg or something like that. So that's quite interesting because you were quite young.
Yeah.
But also, spirit can do it if, like, your own guides, in a way to get you to push you to work more, and then they reward you by showing a bit more, or you'll hear a voice, or you'll see all of them, or
Hmm.
they give you little clues. They make you work for it, and I don't know why they do that.
I don't know. You know, Irene, Roger.
Hi, Noreen and Roger. I'll
But
put it on
why
you.
would they use? Okay, now this is another one that happened to me too. It was a wooden train that I had as a young kid. Why would they use that?
A wooden chain.
A wooden train.
Oh,
Like one,
tray.
yeah,
Yeah,
car trains. Did you buy?
yeah. What would they do with that? What did they do?
Well, it was like talking to me and moving around, and I don't know why
Maybe
they did that.
Maybe it might have been a ghostly child that wanted to play with the train, or it could be a way of doing it so, again, you're not going to be too scared by
Yeah.
what's happening, because it's not just having that communication with them, it's the feelings that come with it, because you can feel them.
Hmm.
Sometimes you can feel them before they're actually appear or start communicating. You
Yeah.
get that sense where, I mean, it's the flight or the fright, or do they call it the flight or fright?
It's fight or fright.
Flight, yeah.
Right.
So if when you get that feeling, and they know that they come in with these vibrations, and you might be able to sense them or feel them in that sense. So they might be doing that just to calm the situation down, so it makes you comfortable with it, so they can do more with you.
Well, I
So
remember telling my mom that I
hi,
saw
William.
William. I remember telling my mom I saw a ghost, and she's like, "There's no such thing." I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
Well,
well,
we don't know what it is, do we? We call it ghost. Is it a ghost?
well,
What
I
is
don't.
it? We don't know what it is.
I was 8 years old. That's what I called it. And I didn't know
Yeah,
what a ghost was. How would I know? I was 8 years old.
yeah. Mind you, if my kids at 8 years old said to me, "Mum, I've seen a ghost," I'll say, "Oh, don't be silly. There's no such thing." Just to keep it calm, like, so the nightmares and things don't happen.
Well, I have no.
Um,
Anyways,
so, what about sort of fast forward to all these years later? You're now an adult. Have you seen much now, or?
Well, I thought I saw something the other day, but I don't know what it was. It could have been because I wasn't vaping and it was a mist that came by, and I don't know what it was because it didn't have a face. It's just like like you see something pass through, in front of your eyes. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
well, because there's a lot of insects that can make. We have the orb weaver that can make a ball around it and float through the air, but there's no reason for it to do it in here.
yeah.
So it was just really weird. I'm like, okay,
Was it a big clump of mist or
no,
small, or?
not that small. Just when
Yeah,
it might have been something walking through. I don't know.
yeah, something just passing through, just cutting through your house as a shortcut, maybe.
I'm like, okay, well, that's a first for me.
Hey, dude, we love Josh. Well, a little bit.
Hey,
We don't want him to get a big head. Oh, Josh, just to let you know, we're just looking into that experiment, that C5, how we're going to do it. So, and we'll both go live and do it at the same, well, hopefully at the same time. We just got to work out some time differences.
hello, Daryl.
Hi, Daryl. Oh, Daryl, you say the nicest things. What are you after? Rita's in the house. So, Sarah. Hi, Sarah. Oh, bless her. I love Sarah. She's such a nice lady. Anyway, yes. Well, yeah. So we were saying about the mist. Have you had anything else that's happened that
Well,
you can remember?
my cat, but that's about it. But she
Yeah.
hasn't been around for a while because I told her to stay away because I want her to be happy wherever she's at. But I haven't had
Oh,
all year, so I haven't had my. I have a wooden floor, and I was stomping around with the ball, to make sure it wasn't that was setting the ball off in the
yeah.
cat toy because I put it in the cat toy so the cats could play with it. And I had it sitting on top of the stool, and every so often it would go off.
Yeah.
That one night that Nick was talking about the Enfield haunting, it was going off a lot.
Oh, bless you. Well, I don't know if you know, but I live in a house that is quite active. So when you start, it's really funny because considering my mediumship, I've tried mediumship to try and connect with the man, and
Mhm.
he doesn't want to know. I've tried not so much, but a little bit of paranormal equipment to see if he'll talk through that.
Mhm.
Absolutely nothing.
Mhm.
But when he does do it, and when it is happening, Dan's seen it, Jay's seen it,
Yeah.
Andy's seen it, though he doesn't like to admit to it. And the worst thing that's happened really is the mimicking. Um,
Yeah.
so and people say mimicking, that's not really that bad. Well, it depends what they're saying,
Yeah.
because I was downstairs in the kitchen cooking breakfast. My friend was upstairs in one of the back bedrooms getting ready,
Mhm.
and right by the door she heard me calling her name. She came running downstairs saying, what do you want? I said, nothing, I'm cooking your breakfast. She said, what? You was upstairs just now calling me. I said, no, I wasn't. I've always been down here. And if I'm not down here, it'll burn. So I have to be down here because of that vegetarian food that I was cooking her. So, yeah, it it's, yeah. And that's what it really is, like a nothing thing. But when you think about mimics, it depends exactly what they're mimicking and in
Mhm.
what contents. I think mimics are quite, what's the word I'm looking for? Could be quite dangerous.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Well, yeah, because like you said, it depends on what they're saying. I mean, if they're telling you to do stuff, that's something different than just saying your name. So
Yeah, yeah. And the other thing is as well, like, I mean, these are things that people, they don't even look at, like, on paranormal investigations. They don't investigate. They don't go into it too deeply. They, they get this, and then they accept it. But here in my house, with the odd things that had been happening, I've got inside and outside,
Yeah.
because my house is built on an old Roman villa,
Okay.
and parts of the Roman villa are still underneath it.
Oh, wow.
And also something's seen outside, but then I've got this other thing that is inside. He's outside and inside. He just pops in whenever he wants to. But the thing is, there's nothing I can do. He was here before I got here.
Mm-hmm.
He was part of the railway, which is the road just outside my house that you can hear was a railway, and he worked on that. So there's reason for him to be here.
Yeah.
And if he chooses to come in, throw stuff around, do whatever he wants to do, that's fine. Get on with it. You have to learn to live with it, and I have. But I keep saying, I'm going to get a paranormal team in here, tell them nothing, and see what they get. But
Yeah.
I want reputable people. I don't
Yeah.
want someone that just wants a paranormal investigation. I want to know. I want them to give me not answers, but in their eyes, I want them to give me answers.
Yeah, confirmation that what you're.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I did say, Dan, should we stay at my house and investigate? He goes, nah, I can't be bothered. That's what I get from Dan.
I'll do it when we come.
Yeah. Well, you can stay in the room that's got the most activity.
Okay.
It's interesting.
Cool.
But I just learned to live with it. It's funny, like, because it's not what I would call upsetting.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, you do get, you get the shit your pants kind of feeling, and you'd go around. Well, I go around the house. I'm on my own, turning all the lights on. Come over, Sarah. Honestly, you are welcome here anytime you want to come. Come. But yeah, no, it's one of those places where if I'm with someone and it happens, it's like, oh well. But if I'm on my own and it happens, it's like, ooh, missus, I'm with the lights on. I better not watch a scary film because it would just set me on edge. It's like that. William, you would call it Damon's room. The one behind the one next to the one you slept in. Yeah. No, Sarah, I mean that, Sarah. If you want to come.
Yeah, that'd be great for Sarah to get out and do that.
Mm.
I need to do the same thing that we were talking about doing that you guys are talking about doing this year when I get there. There's one, get out and see a lot of places, and two, get over to where Sarah's at and see if they want to go, if she wants to go out.
Get her up here.
Mm-hmm.
I've got enough bedrooms. Come up here, Sarah. Get her out of Barry Island.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, I don't think up here is any better, but at least you have the sea. We don't. Yeah, William. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? Yeah. It's amazing when William's here because he just connects with all the ancients.
Wow.
Oh my God, it's amazing to see him working, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, spooky places. So, in Wisconsin, what spooky places do you have in Wisconsin, would you say?
I don't know. Not really a whole lot. Everything is, around here, nothing's not used. You know what I mean? There's no abandoned buildings. There's no anything.
Graveyards?
Huh?
Graveyards?
Yeah, there's graveyards, but I haven't heard of anything that.
Do they have that spooky feel about them? Do they look spooky? Have you heard any stories about?
Glen, I don't even know how to pronounce that, Josh.
Glen Beulah? Glen Beulah?
Yeah.
Do you know Glenn Bueller?
Oh, I don't. See, that's why I'm hooking up with Josh to see if he can take me to. Yeah, that's it.
See, I'm not even American, and I can say Glenn Bueller. Mind you,
Yeah.
that doesn't sound like an American word or even an English word. Sounds Scottish to me.
Could be. I don't know. Well, we're mostly Irish, German, and Polish. Big Polish community here. That's about it.
It's the first cemetery in Wisconsin.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Can you imagine some of the oldest graves there?
But yeah, there's some. I mean, you see like ones from like where I used to be fascinated with gravestones and writings on them, and you'd see some like in like 1947 or something like that, and then died like at childbirth, or like a year later or something like that. And you see like
Yeah.
old gravestones like that, which is really cool. But no one takes care of them because there's no family left around.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Josh said that that's a native word, Glenn Bueller. So I'm most probably pronouncing it wrong.
There's some, not very many, but there's a few. Welch.
Yeah. William says, and the Roman, probably Romano Britain, saw in your place before I knew about the villa. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. He picked up on the Romans and stuff here. Sarah says, you never hear about Welsh people in America. Why is that, Eric?
I've met a couple of them, not many, but I don't know. I just don't think they came over. Yeah, we got Bigfoot and the Ice Age Trail and Dogman by us too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to go down to 1,000 Islands this year when it gets a little bit warmer and see if there's anything down there at nighttime.
Yeah. It'd be good because you're quite spoilt out there for the cryptid phenomena with Bigfoot and the Dogman and
I mean, Eau Claire. I know where that is.
Yeah.
That's not far away from me, Sarah.
Ooh.
Mennonites are Welch. Okay. Well, then we do have Welch people here. Actually, because there are a lot of Mennonites.
Mennonites. Why are they called Mennonites? What's Mennonites?
They're like between Amish and us.
Right.
Like to them, they wear the old-fashioned clothes, but yet, and they can drive cars and they go shopping in public, but they still believe in that part of it.
Yeah. That's interesting. Rob. Rabsy Nesbit.
Yes, I know the Amish in Germany.
Yeah. So, yeah. I was going to ask you something now, and it's completely gone out of my head. Oh, yeah. What about what are your laws on archaeology? So, if you were out, I don't know, in the woods, not owned by anyone, doing your thing, and you stumble across artifacts, old artifacts, are you allowed to dig them up, or do you have to report it? Can't you? What would you do? What would you find? What would you have to do?
Usually when you find something around here, if you find it, you keep it. So unless it's bones, then that's something totally different.
Unless it's bones, right?
We have to report that because you don't know how old they are. So
yeah.
And there's a lot of missing people apparently that I find out. Like this one year when I was living in Wausau, I found out that there was a guy missing because I saw some bones by a stream as I was walking the back way. And I'm like, I didn't want to get close enough to see what it was exactly, but apparently it was just a deer carcass that had the skin missing and everything else. And I don't know why it would be right there because it was right in the middle of town. But apparently there was an old man missing.
Yeah. Hang on, we've got some things come up here. Josh says, native, take it. Rob says, here, everything belongs to the crown. Actually, Rob, that's not true. It's not true. It depends on what's found and the value.
Yeah, if it's your property, it's different.
Yeah. Mennonites people overview location video Switzerland, originating in Switzerland, but named after Dutch theologian Menno Simons. Mennonites are the direct heirs of the 16th century Anabaptist tradition, and he's put a link up. Entry of Mennonites, the Encyclopedia of Oklahoma History and Culture. There you go. Interesting.
Well, and that always confuses me because when I think Dutch, I think German, because that's the German word, or that Dutch is the word for German language. So I'm like, okay, well, which one is it? Is it Dutch or is it Deutsch?
Deutscher. You're thinking of Deutsche and Dutch. Pronounced a little bit different.
I mean, the actual, you say Dutch for the language itself.
Oh, do you?
Yep.
Yeah, no, well, yeah.
Because ich spreche ein bisschen Dutch.
Don't mention the war. So over here, if we go metal detecting and we find all bits and pieces, it's fine. Mm-hmm. If we find, and you normally, the person whose land it is, you do a deal, you halve it, you go 50-50 or whatever. Mm-hmm. If you find a hoard or a great treasure, you have to declare it. It then becomes the property of the crown. Mm-hmm. If the crown do not want to take it into their coffers, it gets offered to the museums. The museums have the opportunity to buy it.
Okay.
But you won't get what it's worth.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And again, it depends on whose land it is that you find it on, how much you get if you do the deal with them.
Right.
So over here, if I was to go and metal detect the farmer's field over there and find a hoard of coins, let's say, old coins, that gets reported. It will end up in a museum. We'll only get a certain percentage, and then I have to half it with the farmer.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's one of those. You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't.
Well, if I buy a castle over in Scotland and go down and find a treasure chest, it's mine.
You won't in Scotland, because you know what the English say about the Scots.
Yeah.
They're all tight. Well, the men are, not the women.
Yeah. Apparently, there's 3 treasure chests still that somebody can find in Scotland, because they found there were 6 altogether. Apparently, I don't know what the situation was, but yeah.
In not far from me, I'm not going to say where. Mm-hmm. There was a hoard, the King's hoard of treasure went missing, and it's known as the King John's treasure hoard. And little bits and pieces have been showing up over the years, but the hoard has never actually been found. Wow. So they think they know the areas in which it might be. So the metal detectorists are out all the time looking for it. It hasn't been found yet, but when it does get found, it's going to be one of the biggest hoards found on the British Isles, apparently. That's the one you want.
Well, I mean, I still haven't completely decided which country is going to be where the big place is going to be. So I haven't,
the King John hoard, yeah.
I find it's supposed to be able to apparently find a treasure chest in the next couple of years. So, and it's not here because we don't have treasure chests here.
Do you know? If you buy a property, mm-hmm. This is where the real treasure is. It doesn't matter where the property is or how big or grand or not grand or whatever. If you buy a property and you look what's in the cupboards, what's been left behind, and you find an antique, and you take it to, I don't know, these antique shows, and it goes under the hammer and the prices go up and 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 up. That's what I call the real treasures.
Yeah.
Finding an old painting or, you know, that sort of thing, or, you know, looking at into the face of somebody that's been painted, or looking
Well,
at a.
in the British Roadshow, because we have the American Roadshow here, but I'm
Mm,
able to watch the British one, and there's some really nice old antiques worth a lot of pounds over there.
yeah, it's surprising. I mean, we have this thing over here called car boot sales.
Hmm.
And so rather than chucking out stuff that you don't want anymore, saying, oh, that's rubbish, I'll just throw it away, you load it up in your car, you take a paper pasting table, set it up in the field
Yeah.
with all the other people, put your stuff on there, and then people come and buy it for a few pounds and stuff.
Huh. I
Some of
wonder.
the some of the things that have turned up in these antiques, hello, John, that have turned up in these antique places have been worth thousands.
Oh yeah.
Somebody paid 20p for it and it's worth 20 grand, you know.
Well, that's why I like taking antiques when I find something or look at something. I'm like, okay, well, how much is this worth? I really do a lot of the antiques. So,
Yeah, I mean, there was what we well, I've bought a lot of my tripods for ghost hunting
mhm.
from these car boots, and I've paid a fraction of the price. And they're not these really cheap, flimsy things. They're big, sturdy things.
Mhm.
Flashlights, car boot sales. You know, it's amazing what you can find if you look. Um, so it's always handy just going and having a little nosy to see what they've got.
Yeah,
Um,
we have garage sales over here, and then we have thrift stores almost everywhere. So,
yeah, I know my Andy stopped a lady,
mhm.
an older lady. She had some bric-a-brac and some bits on a table for sale, and we saw this man looking at some medals. She had these medals for sale, and basically he was asking her how much, and she was saying, how much do you want to pay for them? And she said a price, because there was a set of them and they belonged to her husband or father, whoever it was.
Yeah,
And he said, no, that's too expensive. He was trying to knock her down,
wow.
and he walked away thinking that she'd not say, I'll come back. But we were standing there. So he walked off. And before he could turn around and come back and say another price to her, he said to her, take that medal, this medal here, take it off now. She went, why? That's a Victoria Cross.
Mhm.
Do not sell that. Whatever he's going to offer you, it's not enough money. Because the
Yeah,
Victoria Cross is one for gallantry and bravery, and they're not given out too often.
yeah,
But Andy had spotted it and said, that's a Victoria Cross. Don't sell it. He said he's not going to give you the right money for it. He said, in fact, I'll take it to a dealer and get the right price if that's what you want to do. The man did come back and the medals were gone. And I
oh,
heard her say, he said, where are the medals? Oh, they got sold just after you left. So, in other words, we bought them, but we didn't.
yeah, yeah. I try to warn people sometimes, about certain stuff that I see. I'm like, because I've looked up all these antiques, and I'm like, don't sell that for that price. It's worth a lot more than what that is.
Yeah. So Rob says,
Mm.
we have treasure Charles the First. Watch it sink in the river Forth. Oh, the river Forth crossing from Bartisland to Lyeth in the Edinburgh sunk 20 metres of water. Yeah. I mean, the history between England and Scotland, it's just amazing. Seriously, it really is.
Yeah.
I bought a old gold horseshoe, once bought for like £20, I think, and
Mhm.
sold it for a lot more. So car boots are worth like a go, like charity shops. Yeah, they are, definitely.
Los isn't on this show.
No, he's not on this show. So it's normally me and Dan and Eric interviewing someone, but we decided, well, last minute because of technical issues, we'll defer that to another time. So you just got me and Eric. I'm sorry, Rab, if we're boring you.
We scared an actual what? Scored an actual popcorn cart. Okay, that's cool.
Ooh, yeah. So, paranormal equipment, you don't normally see them. You don't normally see it
Yeah.
in car boot sales, but you never know. Something might just pop up.
Well, even not an EMF meter, but a multimeter, that you can use would be, I think, would have be in a car boot sale. You know.
I spotted something on eBay,
Oh yeah.
and this is another thing. I spotted something on eBay because I scroll and search, and I don't use the searches that you would normally think of using for, I don't know, for ghost gear.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked up, and you're gonna laugh at me. I picked up a ghost arc for
Oh yeah.
£150. 150. And my one's in relatively good work. It's in good working order. So it's not one of the duff ones that was sold. It was one of the first job lots that went out. And Chris Howley, he looked at my ghost art and he said to me, yours is better than my one. I said, do you think so? He said, and mine's pretty good. He said, your one's better than mine. He said, do you want to swap? I went, no. He said, do me a favor, keep hold of that. Don't sell it. Don't sell it. But I don't know. When I get bored of ghost art, I will get rid of some of the equipment. Some of it is like museum pieces.
What's Ghost Ark?
So the Ghost Ark, a few years ago now, there was a guy in Italy, I forget his name, who wanted to build a machine that had EMF, a spirit box, what else was it? Temperature readings, that sort of thing, all built into the one thing. And it had an aerial on it. And he built them very quickly. He went to China to get the production in China. Anyway, it didn't go well. And when it was launched, it was a mess. And people were anticipating this lovely piece of equipment. There was all this big promotion with it. And when it did finally get sent out to the masses, they were getting bits of broken equipment.
Oh wow.
And the guy, sadly, had a major heart attack or a stroke or something because of the pressure of everything, because it was a pretty big deal over here in Europe, and he did get attacked a lot. But he was selling them, I think it was for about £80-90
Wow.
for this one piece of equipment that failed. And you can imagine it all went belly up, having to do refunds and stuff. And I don't know whether he ran into monetary problems or had to go bankrupt or whatever, but he ended up seriously ill over in Italy. And yeah, so the ones that do work, the first batch that went out, they're very rare. And I have one of them. They'll end up in a museum somewhere.
Yeah. Just like the Frank's box, there's only like 14 of them ever made or out now.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean, I remember getting my very first, I call it a spirit box, but it was back then, it was called a Frank's box. I've had it for about 15 years, and it was a Sagen Hack Shack model. Yeah. And people are saying like that. I've seen that on eBay on sale for a lot of money. Yeah. It was Nicola. I mean, that was a sad situation with him. He tried to do something good for the paranormal community, and yeah, it went a bit wrong. So Josh says possessed dolls have been a hot item I hear on eBay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Possessed dolls. Really?
Oh yeah. People have
really?
Not really haunted, they're just fake.
I got a possessed doll. She's up there. I'll show you. See if you can see her.
Oh wow.
You can see it hanging there.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not. It's a Halloween prop.
Yeah.
I
Both.
could say she's possessed.
Yeah.
She's possessed, and sell it on eBay for about 500 quid because
But
it's come from a haunted home.
what are your thoughts on spirit boxes? I think you can get too many false positives through a spirit box.
Of course.
They do. You want to look more at the white noise than anything else.
You know what, Josh, would be better than a spirit box? Is running white noise and okay, they call it the God helmet, but I say do the Gansfield experiment and run white noise. Nothing but white noise through your ears. Cover your eyes,
Yeah.
and listen that way.
You have a possessed cat, not a possessed dog.
William knows. I do have. Where is he? He's up there. He's forced himself on the windowsill.
Yeah, the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. But it is amazing. I mean, if you're shrewd, I mean, Dan is terrible for it. He'll buy a piece of paranormal equipment, get bored, and sell it. And then within a couple of years, the price it shoot up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I wish I kept hold of that now. That's what I get from Dan. Like the Ovilus 3.
Mm-hmm.
Dan sold his. I kept mine.
Yeah.
I've been offered hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds for mine. I mean, it's been thrown about a bit and everything, but it still works.
Yes, sir. You call me possessed.
Repossess. All these new Ring doorbells. Do you know what, Rob? Now, my mum actually bought it for my son.
Yeah.
When he had his baby, they wanted a baby, the toddler alarm thing.
Yeah.
So my mum, thinking she'll act a bit flash, bought one where you put this thing up in the room, but it's a camera.
Yeah, the night.
And then you have like a little tablet thing that comes with it.
Yeah.
And it's like fully infrared and everything. It's only just the one camera though.
Yeah.
And I think it's about, it's about 100 quid, something like that. You can pick them up for. What a great piece of paranormal equipment you could use.
I know, right? That's what I was seeing when I was going down to you get the Ring doorbells. You can get them for $78 here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, if I had the money right now, I'd grab that.
Yeah.
Because that's all it is. It sits up, you download an app on your phone. And
we got a Ring doorbell, but we've had it up now 4 months.
Yeah.
But you have to take the front of the doorbell off and charge it. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
So it had to have like an overnight charge and go back on again.
Well, if I buy it for ghost hunting, I can just charge it and then.
But the thing is, it goes off. I mean, I don't have it to my phone. Andy has it because I'd be forever looking at it. But when you get a shadow that goes past, it doesn't even necessarily have to be a person. It like alerts you something's happened, or if it rains, or it goes off again, and it's just I can't be bothered with all that. Leave it to Andy.
Josh says they got one and they see orbs a lot. Yeah, but
rain. It's called rain, dust.
Yeah, it's dust, because just moisture in the air from outside. Well, it depends on it. He's in an apartment building, so I don't know. Could be just dust.
Well, do you know what? We never really looked at it at night. I'll have to do it here because I've noticed, and I've taken a lot of photographs of it. When we have fog or mist, if you're out there with your infrared camera or normal cameras, just take pictures. You'll see it looks like a great big line of something, like a rod, not a rod, but like a spear.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's the actual the fog that creates this illusion. And I've seen that quite a lot, and I've done it over the years with fog and mist and taken loads of pictures, and that's the effect that we get a lot. And the other one,
there anything an orb if it was bigger than an orb, because I've seen like I was watching Haunted Scotland, and they took one of those cat balls and put it in a hood of a statue of a monk. They were doing a monastery or whatever. I don't know what it was. But all of a sudden, you see this thing go right in the hood, and then all of a sudden, the ball goes off. And like, okay, that's the first I've ever seen something like that.
Yeah, I
It's just
don't
like
know.
burst of energy, and I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah, I would be up to me. I'd be watching the people. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
that phenomena happens. Great,
Mm-hmm.
but now let's see them. Are they reacting? Do they have a reaction before it actually kicks off?
No,
Do
they
they
did
feel anything? Do they sense anything?
the whole thing when they were doing it. And he put it in there, and we were watching the statue. The camera's on the statue the longest time with them standing around it. And I'm like, holy crap, I just saw something before anybody said anything.
It's black and white at night mode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Black and white would be the infrared for the
yeah,
night.
yeah. It goes like a grayscale type thing. Yeah, infrared does that. But the thing is as well, like what a lot of people don't realise is like your carpet.
Mm-hmm.
You can hoover your carpet. The fact that you've got a carpet, that will create an orb phenomena as
Oh yeah,
well.
absolutely.
Curtains, if you have curtains or blinds, that will create it.
I
When
tried
you roll it.
to do the reverse of what everybody does. Because I saw through my camera on my iPhone, which I'm on now, saw dust particles all over the place. So I'm like trying to. This is what a dust particle looks like. This is what a dust particle looks like. I'm taking pictures of it, and I look at the picture. There's no dust particles. I'm like, what the?
Put your flash on. Oh yeah, no, it's I'll tell you what, it's great. I mean, the experience we used to do in the past is like we used to get our pillow and just go like that with your pillow, and then quickly grab your phone, take loads of pictures, and it's like it's snowing in your bedroom. And the other one is jump up and down on your bed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, that is so funny. Hoover the room, just give it a really good hoovering, then take your phone out, quickly take loads of pictures. That was another one. That's what we did as like all a part of our research.
Like I said, it has to be it has to be bigger than a regular orb, and it has to be like a mist going by, or like well, like I said, the one that I saw with my bare eyes, that wasn't even. I don't know what that was. It was like that. But
hey guys, look, what do you think of that up there?
oh, the troll, yeah.
That's Dan. It's Dan before his haircut. And before he got his new glasses.
Yeah. I don't know why he chose glasses though.
Do you think they suit him?
I think he looks okay with them. I don't know. Yes.
So, Josh, what is an orb? If it's not dust.
I thought you were being trolled.
We were
Yeah.
by him. He's gorgeous, isn't he? In fact, he's better looking than Dan.
Right.
He'll watch this back and go, "Oh, you were talking about me."
I hope he comes on soon if he's going to come on.
Well, he might do, just towards the end, just to piss us off, knowing him. So what was I going to say? Yeah, it's always worth keeping your. Dan looks like Harry Potter.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my god, what happened to Harry Potter?
So it's always worth looking out at in car boot sales and just
Yeah.
You could end up buying crap and then you might blame me, but that's the risk you take.
Well, I kind of know the difference between crap and something decent, so I'm pretty good at it.
I'm always on the lookout for anything Japanesey.
Yeah.
Anything Japanesey. I just like, I've got to have it. But I went to a car boot sale, it was a couple of months ago now, with my friend. She wanted to buy some toys for her ferret. And her ferret, all he does is rip them up. So there's no point buying great toys, so we go car boot to buy a bunch of toys for next to nothing. And while I was there, I saw a little oil painting. It was this big, by nobody famous, just of a lion, and it's just his head, and he's sniffing or looking through some grass. But to me, it looks like he's sniffing grass. So I bought it. And I paid £2 for it. And she says, "What are you going to do with that?" I said, "I'm going to put it there." He says, "Why?" I said, "I like that lion." And he's sniffing some grass. I said, "There's a backstory to this." I said, "I don't know what it is. I haven't made it up yet, but he's going there." It's quite funny. I do like if somebody's taken the time to paint it, it's worth looking at it.
Yeah.
You know, I can lose myself in paintings, but that's me. Like some of my greatest books as well on the paranormal, I found in real weird places. Yeah.
I've had a fascination with old books for a long time, and I was thinking about doing some. I'm definitely be doing a whole bunch of stuff when I come. So there's so much I want to do.
Some of the books that I've got here now have even gone out of print, and they're so old. They were my gran's.
Yeah.
Why is my gran looking in paranormal books? It's like, oh, I didn't know that about her.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, maybe she had the gift and just didn't tell you or anybody, you know.
And then Norman Fahey, the late great Norman Fahey, before he passed away, he says, "Oh, see that box there, ain't you?" He goes, "Put it in your car." "What for?" He goes, "That's your box." He says, "You're taking that home."
Wow.
He said, "That's stuff from me." He said, "It's coming to you." And it wasn't when I got it home, and I took it just to keep him happy. I'm going through this box, and there's like old paranormal stuff and tapes and recordings and all sorts of things. I haven't even had time to go through them.
Oh, I do that.
But he's what he did give me though is a recording of Maurice Grossman talking on a BBC interview to somebody about the Enfield haunting.
Oh wow!
So I have that recording.
That'd be worth some money. I gotta do something real quick. This is so uncomfortable on my. I'm gonna switch something. Hold on. Give me a second.
Is that you moving that, or is it moving on its own?
That's me.
That's all right then.
I had to use my cushion.
I got my cushion.
Yeah. I got a butt cushion because I lost all my weight, I got an extended tailbone.
Oh, yeah.
So I have to use a cushion. It's just uncomfortable sometimes.
Yeah. Well, you know, this weekend, I'm supposed to be out investigating with Dan in a local place to me called Wisbeach Castle.
Oh, wow.
And Wisbeach Castle is not a castle. Not anymore. It used to be. But it's now a very beautiful Georgian house.
Wow.
And it has a lot of history to it. So put it on there. Oh, the recording of maybe I could find a way of putting it, because it's an old cassette tape. It's no visual. It's just audio. How long has it been? I mean, is there a wait period before you could play something like that? I don't know.
Not if it was given to you by the person that had it.
But no, I think like guy like Maurice Gross.
Oh, okay.
You know,
I don't know.
He's been gone a while now, hasn't he? So
I think after 20 years, it's here at least. You couldn't do that. But
I might be able to. I'll work out how to do it. I'd have to sort of re-record it and then download it digitally, and you might lose some of the quality, but I could try and get it on there.
Last year, there's a way to hook it up from headphone to microphone jack, and then record it on the computer that way.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll try. I'm not very good when it comes to technical, to be honest.
Well, if
And
you
he's
can before I get there, I'll do it when I get there because I'm
he's got a load of other stuff as well. But yeah, and we might have to do some free records as well.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have listened to some of it, and he does play parts of when Janet is taken over by the spirit and she's talking like that, man. He does play some of that. Yeah, it is really, really interesting.
Yeah, on Monday I'm going to be on there with Mark, Wayne, and Josh talking about cryptids in Wisconsin. So,
Ooh. Well, hopefully within the next couple of weeks, my first expedition will start.
yeah.
There is a little bit that I've got to do at my end, and it will be a little bit of groundwork, really, just to start with. But the expedition it's going to take about, I reckon, about 3 or 4 years to cover it all.
Yeah.
And it's only a small area. It's not a vast area like you guys have got. But the sightings have been so prominent, and we have a lot of witness statements. So, Eric, when you come here, I need you to get to put your homing skills in and
Oh, that's right.
come out.
I need to get plug adapters, don't I? Yeah, I know. I was thinking about that when I come over there because you guys got a different electrical system than we do. So,
Oh, we have adapters. It's fine.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told Rita that too. I knew that the first year I was even talking about it. And like when I go over there, we have to get a different adapters for our stuff. But I think we're gonna buy all our stuff there. So
Yeah.
already.
Josh says, what if you find a Yeti?
Mm.
Actually, I have a theory. I know what it is.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things, I've got a feeling I know what it is. And if I come across that, I'd be more frightened of that than I would actually finding Bigfoot or a Yeti or whatever you want to call it, Sasquatch or whatever. I'd be more frightened of finding this thing, because the thing that if it is what I think it is, I would need somebody with Dan's expertise more than to be able to trap it rather than. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. Well, he can. Well, I can do that too, but he has more experience than me in it. I just know hunting over here when I was younger that how to do that. But
yeah, but it's I don't think it's what people think it is. They're automatically jumping to cryptid. Europlugs.
I could.
Our plugs are different from Europlugs.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so there's some exciting stuff. So maybe you have to come over and give me some tips. In casting, that's another thing. Is I'll be casting in the next couple of weeks. I'm having some practice casting.
Just don't use plaster of Paris. There's a stuff that you have to get. It's like
I'm using plaster of Paris.
But don't just use that though. You got to mix something in with it besides water.
What do you mix in with it then?
There's this the stuff that they take molds of your teeth with that you can buy online. And
like a resin.
Yeah, a resin.
Because I have to carry this stuff with me on a backpack. Don't forget. So I can't carry lots.
You can actually get molding resin too from the stores. Here you can at least. It's like a rubber that you can mix in with it, and then when it hardens.
Because I was going to use the plaster of Paris. You buy the powder stuff, and then you put the water in your backpack. There's also the eDNA stuff that I got to be aware of, because the eDNA is quite important. If I can get that first and foremost, and then do the casting, and then listen to this. I'm looking into getting Velcro.
Yep.
So I want massive long strips of Velcro to put around trees.
Yep.
You're going to think I'm off my head.
No,
As well as,
that people are actually getting really good evidence wrapping Velcro around trees and something rubs against it and really catches the hair and stuff.
yeah. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting times. So I'm going out and just having a go as a practice run, if you like, a dry run. And then it will start properly. So good old cement works. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But if you don't want it to crack or break, I'd get something that would be mixed in with the plaster that makes it kind of rubbery at the same time as the hard, so it sticks together more.
Yeah. Fun times, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Because like people believe in there's also when you're out in the woods and especially at night, you've got the nature spirits.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a thing here called they call it Lantern Man.
Really?
Yeah, it's you see the lanterns swinging, but
Oh,
it's like, yeah, but it's like, well, they can't just swing there. They're not up in the air. And then you see the shadow with the lantern. They call it Lantern Man. I think if I see one of those, I think I'll shit myself big time.
Yeah.
Proper poo my pants.
But they have. Hold on a second.
Grizzly has not had that work. He says they take the tape. They take the tape, never has proof so far. We got not dear. You know what? There's been some actual good cryptid proof out there if you know where to look.
Yeah, he used you know that boxing tape, you know, where you tape up boxes and stuff.
Yeah.
He used that, and it was all gone. Not a single evidence left behind. He had cameras all the way around the tree. Didn't know how it was taken off. This is the old lanterns.
Yes. Yes. That sort of thing.
I made one out of that and put it online, but no one's bought it yet. So.
Oh. Yes, guys. If you want some paranormal equipment, you need to go to RE Gear. What's it called? Real Gear? RE Gear?
No. It's actually under Rest in Peace Paranormal Gear now.
Rest in Peace Paranormal Gear.
Yeah. And I'll show you that. And this is the hottest seller right now.
Oh, it is that?
It's the skull. Everybody loves it.
The skull is amazing. The best thing is out there, honestly. The best thing out there is those skulls. I love a skull, me.
Nicola.
No, can't keep my saying. Been up since for back early small gate chat. It's not over. Thanks, Nicola. Oh, bless you. Have a good night. She's lovely, isn't she, Nicola? They're all nice in the chat. Even Rabsy Nesbitt's lovely. Yeah. But don't tell him I said that. Can you put up the link to buy the items?
Just go to oh shoot, I don't even know what it's under. I'd have to type it out. But just message me, Ned.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll send you the link to it. I got it on eBay. It's under Rest in Peace Paranormal Gear.
Yeah. You can also buy what are those books? The
Remballs?
Remballs.
That was Grizz's idea. This is, I don't have a battery in it, so I can't show you what it looks like. But well, actually, I can. Hold on. If you want
the Remballs. So you can upgrade from your cat balls to a Remball.
Which are not the same, even though someone said that's just a cat ball. No, it's not.
It's not. It's completely different.
It's actually made the same way a rum pie is made. And how do I know that? Because I looked it up. And you can hear it already.
Yeah.
But it's all self-contained, and I like it because it makes a great sugar agate.
They're cool, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
They are cool.
That's mine, but
Yeah. Yeah. Or
well,
if you want something made, if you want something commissioned, and if Eric's able to do it, reach out to him.
yeah, it depends on what it is. I can't make pendulums. Someone asked me for, I don't know if they wanted the stand, but
A stand.
you can't make an automated pendulum. You know what I mean? It won't go by itself. So
No, it doesn't work like that. No.
I'm like, okay, it's got to be electronic if you want something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which
So
I am
yeah.
putting that out tomorrow morning when
Ooh.
office opens.
Ooh. I've got some goodies coming from Eric. And believe me, when you see what he's made me, you'll all want one. You will all want
I
it.
don't know how many I can make of the Bigfoot one, but the skull one I can make easily. So
That skull one, oh my God, when people start realizing what it is
mm.
and where I got it from, you're going to be inundated.
I can make a new body if you want your brain transferred
You
into
want
it.
a new body.
If you want your brain transferred in an Android, I can make a new body.
AI generated.
Yeah.
Right, we are going to end it now because we've been on an hour and we've been talking gibberish like we do, but it's great gibberish. Apologies again for Dan. He's, bless him, he's braved the pain to go out and pick his son up. So Dan had, as you know, he had an accident last week and we believe he's broken some ribs. Silly boy. Silly boy. Needs to look after himself.
Yeah.
But we will be back next Tuesday
Mm-hmm.
on the Things Network at 7 o'clock. And we are talking about dowsing.
Yep.
And we are going to be doing some dowsing exercises.
Yeah.
On air. So if you fancy joining in with us, grab your pendulums or your L rods or Y rods, whatever it is you want to use, and we will give that a go next Tuesday night.
Cool.
So we'll have some fun with dowsing. And if you don't have anything, try your trainer or a handbag. Seriously, you can douse with a handbag. People don't know this, but yeah. But we'll talk about it on Tuesday, so that's when we will be back together. So whatever you're doing, stay safe, look after yourselves, have a great weekend if we don't speak to you before. And Josh, you take care as well. And love to everyone. Last words with you, Eric.
I don't know. How about we do something in German? Auf Wiedersehen.